This morning on Today's Health, the truth about vitamins. About half of American adults routinely take vitamins or dietary supplements in hopes of maintaining a healthy diet and warding off disease. But do they really work, or are they wasting your money? Dr. David Katz is an associate professor at Yale Medical School. Dr. Katz, good morning.
Good morning, Natalie.
And a lot of us, I mean, we said 50% take a vitamin daily,
right,
a multivitamin daily. Are we saying that the research is there that shows you actually really don't need that?
Well, it goes beyond we really don't need that, to questioning whether there's any benefit at all from taking a typical multivitamin. I think we all fell in love with vitamin supplementation in the early days of the 20th century when we were identifying deficiency syndromes and recognized the power of vitamins. But then the other issue is we are a quick fix, silver bullet society. So maybe I don't have to eat well. Maybe I don't have to exercise. Maybe I can just take a multivitamin. And absolutely, science is increasingly questioning the value of that.
Okay, so let's separate fact from fiction.
Okay.
And starting off with, if you're taking your vitamin right now, I don't know that you're going to like to hear this. So multivitamins, can they make up for a bad diet? Fact or fiction?
Fiction, absolutely. That's a complete myth. First of all, for this entire category, supplement, not substitute. There is no substitute for eating well.
Right.
One of the important things about nutrients in foods is they act in concert with one another. We could think of the thousands of nutrients in plant foods like a symphony orchestra. There's an interesting category of supplements called whole food-based supplements that try to preserve that harmony. But what we've done with multivitamins is we just select nutrients out. Now, that'd be like maybe taking, one musician from a jazz ensemble, one from a rock band, one from the symphony orchestra. You put them together, you get noise. And most of the evidence suggests that the way we're bundling nutrients together is not producing benefit, certainly not a substitute for healthy eating.
Okay, what about, speaking not producing benefit, what about warding off disease? Because you hear that claim a lot. So myth or fact, taking vitamins can protect against heart disease and even cancer?
Unfortunately, the evidence to date is almost always no. That's a myth as well. And in fact, we've looked in particular at antioxidant nutrients. Studies have looked specifically at various combinations of antioxidant nutrients to prevent heart disease and cancer. None of them has shown a benefit other than in populations that are overtly nutrient deficient, in rural China, for example. And some of them have even hinted that nutrients like beta-carotene, when you isolate them, can increase cancer risk.
Well, in fact, there's a new study out of Sweden that it's possibly linking breast cancer to taking multivitamin pills.
Exactly.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, 35,000 women in Sweden followed for 10 years. And it's an observational study. Basically, the women were asked, do you take a multivitamin, yes or no? And over that 10 years, they observed who got breast cancer, who didn't. The women who took the multivitamin had a higher rate of breast cancer than those who didn't, and that statistic stuck after they controlled for all of the other potential explanations. Now, it's a very, very small risk.
Right.
I don't want anybody to panic here.
Yes.
But since we're taking multivitamins for benefit, and there may even be harm, it is a real reality check.
So then, speaking of the reality check, I mean, a lot of people think, well, if vitamins can't really help me, taking one is not going to really hurt me. So can it hurt you?
Absolutely. Once you take nutrients up into the realm of high doses, what we call pharmacologic doses, they are acting with our enzyme systems, they're acting with our metabolism, and they're at a dosing range that makes them more like drugs. In fact, some vitamins, some nutrients are actually used as medication, like niacin to treat high triglycerides. Anything with the power to do good has the power to do harm, and as the study with multivitamins suggests, potentially increasing the risk of breast cancer in women, well, clearly that's a harm. Okay,
so some supplements, though, are worth taking. Important to point out the ones that you do recommend.
Absolutely, Natalie. Let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater here. Again, I'm very intrigued by supplements that preserve the balance of nutrients in foods, whole food-based supplements. There's clear evidence supporting supplementation with vitamin D. We all need it. We used to get more sunlight. Between indoor jobs and sunscreen to avoid skin cancer, almost the whole U.S. population is vitamin D deficient. Most of us think now 1,000 IU of vitamin D a day is a good idea for almost everyone. Some people need more.
Right, and omegas.
The other nutrient we're deficient in is omega-3. Traditionally, fish oil. More and more I'm recommending krill oil, but those are important as well.
But all of these supplements, really, you can find in your food, too. So.
And that's clearly the best source. And again, even the best case for supplements, supplement, not substitute. Food is the best way to get our nutrients.
All right. And that's a list right there of where you should be eating your vitamins.
Mostly plants, plants. Foods close to nature.
Exactly. Dr. David Katz, we're out of time this morning, but thank you so much. Great
Pleasure,
information.
Natalie.
By the way, you can read more about